It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a 60-minute cocktail-fueled conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, which is a couple of blocks down from Napoleon Avenue, where they have a 3-hour happy hour here every day. Ours only goes for an hour, actually, but you can have 2 more hours of it. They have half-price drinks and half-price starters and bar food for the whole 3 hours. Nesby Phipps is here. Hello, Nesby.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm not so bad. I haven't seen you for how many years has it been? 100?
I think we had like a year and a half. Last time we met was at PJ's on Magazine.
On Magazine Street, that's right. Magazine Street's there. CC's it was, yeah. We had a brilliant idea for a podcast at that point. Remember what we're going to do?
I can't remember.
Together.
You know what? I've had like 17,000 podcast ideas since then.
What was the last good one you had?
The last good one. I think we're working on one now called Am I Tripping?
Am I Tripping?
Yeah.
Are you hosting that? Is it Am I Tripping?
Well, I'll be one of the featured guests on it with this comedian Shotty Feelgood, and I forget the young lady's name. I forget her stage name.
What's the guy's name? Dr. Feelgood?
Shotty.
Shotty.
Shotty Feelgood.
How do you spell that? Do you even know?
Shaddy. His name's Jashad, but he goes by Shotty Feelgood.
Shotty Feelgood. Is he a local guy?
He's based locally, but he's all over the country with it.
Okay.
He's doing exceptionally well with comedy.
Am I Tripping?
Am I Tripping?
And you're supposed to be funny, or are you the straight guy?
I'm the artsy guy.
You're the artsy guy.
He's the comedian, and so is the lady co-host.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 3 of you.
3 of us.
And you do it every week?
Well, we're starting it next week.
Okay.
So that was the last podcast conversation idea we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're going to do it every week is the plan?
No, not that one. I'm doing Call Me Old Fashioned every week right now.
I'll have to write these down.
Yeah,
Call Me Old Fashioned.
Yeah, Call Me Old Fashioned.
And Am I Tripping?
And Am I Tripping? Yeah.
They're both good. What's Call Me Old Fashioned about?
So Call Me Old Fashioned is hosted by Kelly Salney. She's the owner of Style and Taste, and I DJ her liquor tasting events. So we pretty much talk about current events, and we're 80s babies. We're kind of the new adults out here in the world, and it's the new world we're living in, at least 3 times over.
So you're doing more podcasts than anybody.
I guess I am, kind of.
For a musician, that's a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, people like to hear me talk for some reason over the last year or 2.
I wonder what that is.
I don't know. I don't get it, but I just come when they ask, just like y'all call me.
I love it. Yeah. Well, I love talking to you as well. That's why we had this brilliant idea to do it, but someone's beaten us to it. Yeah. Well, we'll come up with another one in the course of this hour. We've got a whole hour to go.
Well, these dynamics are very different, so I'm excited to...
Right. We'll see how this one works out.
Huh?
We'll see how this one works out.
Definitely. I mean, we're off to a good start.
So far, so good. Joe Bickledge is here. Joe's checking off some stuff on his sheet of... What is all that crap you have there?
It's just crap, just stuff to, talking points in case we
run out of conversation?
Yes, but I don't think it's going to happen.
What's your first talking point?
Oh, no, I just...
Let's go with that.
Well,
Hey, look at talking to this mic. That's the main thing. Don't look at the notes so much.
Now I don't know what to talk about.
Now you don't know what it is. Okay, Marcy Schramm is here as well. Marcy, look at this talking point and tell Joe what his first talking point is.
Well, I think it's about a festival.
It's about a festival.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about the Cochon Festival.
Cochon Festival.
It's the inaugural festival.
So this is the second one.
This is yes.
Okay.
What does that mean? What does Cochon mean? That's a restaurant, right?
It's a restaurant, but that basically is a way of cooking pork. So
Cochon Delay. You never heard of a Cochon Delay from Lafayette and Acadiana? Are you serious?
I'm not familiar.
Am I tripping?
You are tripping. Call me old-fashioned, but I'm a New Orleans boy.
Good man. You got them both in. Well, explain what a Cochon Delay is for the people who are tripping. Or old-fashioned.
Cochon Delay is one way of cooking pork. I guess it's real popular down here in the South. Yeah. And for years we had what was the Blues Festival that supported the 2nd District Police Department. Okay. And we're just kind of expanding
right down there on Napoleon Avenue.
Correct.
All right. Yes, but you're in the 2nd District as well, aren't you?
No, I don't know what my district is, but I live in Holly Grove.
Holly Grove, that's not the 2nd District.
No,
place.
that's not.
But that's where we had a cup of coffee there at CC's. That was the 2nd District, Uptown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So, Joe, you have a festival that supports the police.
Yes, there's an organization, Cops 2.
Controversial right there.
Yes.
Cops 2.
Cops 2.
Okay.
It's a local citizens group that we help feed the police officers at Mardi Gras, prepare them for Mardi Gras Day. We I guess we support them.
When you
with
say
any-
prepare, what do you mean feed the police officers? 'Cause
Well,
you-
in the mornings, that's a long day. Our police force today is a little bit shorthanded, so these guys start like 6 in the morning and they go 16 hours.
Wow.
So
how do you know they're a cop? They have to show up in a uniform to get free food?
Well, yes, that's usually how it works. But we know
You know,
most
they
of
can
them
get
are-
those uniforms at that costume store on Magazine Street. No,
Well, actually,
And all that-
we help buy them uniforms as well.
you do. But in what capacity do you do this? You own a bar as well, right?
Right.
You own the Bon Ton.
Le Bon Ton Array. Correct.
Oh,
Right.
you own Le Bon Ton?
Yes.
Oh, man,
So
I'm
we're
coming to see
in.
you.
Now we're in. That's a
Yeah,
whole
right.
different situation now. Okay.
But
So you got to buy the cops off somehow, otherwise you get busted for all these 12-year-old kids you got in there drinking.
well, okay. Bad subject. Change the subject. Like, how's that ballet going?
Right, correct.
No, the whole idea was that in a time when it's tough to be any civil servant right now.
It's tough to be alive, Joe,
Yes,
right now.
exactly.
Right. You know?
And it's controversial, but the police and the city budget sometimes have find themselves with problems, so we helped support them with things. We also support them with different social programs for police that feel under stress, or when we lose an officer, their family, we offer social services to them for someone to talk to and
When you
get
say
help.
who is this exactly?
Cops too.
Cops too.
We're actually a board of people that are
Nice.
represent members from the community that join, and their money goes 100% to helping the Second District Police. And until recently, we've also offered the social services and the help to the entire police department in New Orleans.
So beyond the second district.
Beyond
All
I
the
want
the
to
districts.
chime in too. I used to,
Awesome.
of course, work in the French Quarter all those years, and we had Cops 8 for the 8th District. And
So what came first, Cops 2 or Cops 8?
I don't know. They're citywide. They're all
Cops
over.
8 is four
but,
times
Yeah,
as
Cops is it's a nonprofit, and the whole point is how can we support our police and add to what the city can do. And so we were always fundraising for them. Like when French Quarter Festival would end, we had
Let's
acres
just
of
stop here for a second to explain to everybody. You were the director of the French Quarter. You're the
Yes,
executive
for 10
director of the
years.
French
Mhm.
Quarter Festival for 10
Yeah.
years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a pretty impressive crowd we
Yeah,
got here.
yeah.
Let's be honest.
Not too shabby.
High-end folks.
Yeah, but anyways, with these
So, yeah.
cops, it's a nonprofit, and there's different divisions of them based on the district, and we all worked so hard. I mean, you love your police; they do so much for the community, and there's so many different ways people give back. Whether it's things that you mentioned, or we would always donate bottled water because we had it to give, or fundraising for them. But
Does this happen in other cities or only in New Orleans?
Yeah,
Cops are
I'm
not
from
fed
Detroit
or-
originally. Detroit does it too.
They do.
I'm sure everyone
Yeah.
has their different arms of support for all the all different civil workers, but our key was to make sure that our police didn't go without they got support. We also do, like at Christmas time, we help with the bicycle drives the Second District does for kids to get bicycles for kids in the Second District. We do Christmas time. They do a get together for a lot of the families and the kids that don't have access to.
What's your
gifts and
position
stuff.
on taking a knee and all this sort of thing that's going on about cops now?
Taking a knee on the issue or taking a knee to the flag?
Well, this whole thing about taking a knee to the flag started off as
First of all, we should all be on our knees. Every one of us has something that we don't like or we feel we're not being treated fairly about. And then I think if we look to the person next to us and they're on their knees, then maybe we should be able to say, like, well, let me hear what you're kneeling for, and I'll tell you what I'm kneeling for, and then we can understand that you're not the only one feeling
It's a
some pain.
teachable moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. But as far as kneeling to the flag, I think the flag is just a representation of what this country's about and where we've been. So if you see an American flag somewhere, you go like, uh-oh, United States is here, like on the moon, in a
Veterans
different country.
Highway.
Veterans Highway. So, and it's just a representation of what we're about. And our country is about everybody being able to pursue what they want, as long as it doesn't infringe on other people's freedoms.
freedom, exactly.
So I think what the Saints are doing is great.
What are the
They all come
What
out
are
and
the
kneel.
sanctions?
They all
Oh,
come out and
really?
kneel. I'm sure they have a diverse, different feeling of what they're kneeling for.
Exactly.
And then the flag goes up, and they all stand for the anthem. And
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Do you go to the games, Nez?
No, I kind of withdrew from football, I guess about 2 years ago,
Why is that?
because the Saints have been sucking. So and I try to keep my microaggressions down. I'm a black man in my mid-30s, and our hypertension tends to go up.
You need to do something to keep something under control. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get that involved with it, that you couldn't risk your health watching it on
aren't
TV.
all Saints fans kind of disgruntled when shit don't go right?
Yeah,
on
but
Sunday?
nobody likes to lose.
All football fans.
Say it again?
All football
exactly.
fans.
We're
all
doing good.
baseball.
We're
all
doing good
soccer.
this season.
So, and technically, the Saints don't owe me nothing else in my lifetime. I never thought we'd get that Super Bowl.
Right.
I was in Miami when the Super Bowl happened, and I flew home the morning of just in case they won.
Wow.
I wanted to be home and not in Miami.
Wow, nice
so
job. All right.
yeah, so I'm
you're a real
I'm a
fan.
diehard,
Right.
but I'm not about to die hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
very good.
Yeah.
Marcy, you a Saints fan? Don't give a
I
shit
don't really
about
care. I mean, it's I don't.
Yeah.
I don't schedule my life around watching the game.
Yeah. I don't
Do you ever watch
I
it?
think
then?
everyone's a Saints fan, like
Yeah.
somewhere in their life.
It's a part of your
Yeah,
citizenship.
Right. Yeah.
It's woven into the fabric of the city. Like it's.
But you've quit watching it now.
I'm just my
Can't
interest
take
is
it.
gone, and my son's an exceptional soccer player. We just came back from England in April, and
Are you
I
serious?
get my football action on the pitch
So
now.
now you're watching. How old is he?
He's 12.
And he's already showing signs of professionalism.
Oh, he's on a pro track right now. He's
Are you
awesome.
serious? Can you get
We
a
need
soccer
him.
scholarship?
Huh?
We need them.
Who is we?
The United States men's team.
Oh, he wants to go EPL, but he'll settle for that.
Well,
Yeah.
we need them.
What is that? European?
Yeah, the European
something?
Premier League.
How did he figure that out already?
Who am I-
That's where the money
he's-
is.
Hey, man, he's all into it. He's all into it. And he did exceptionally well over there competing against the European talent.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you get a scholarship somewhere and
You can,
save
but that's
Dad
not
a bunch of money?
Well, hopefully they could do that with grades and not just with sports. But with him being on a pro track, he's looking to go into someone's academy, so you kind of bypass college.
So you don't have to worry about the whole college. Because soccer's not the same as
Yeah,
football.
not at all.
You don't have to go through the
Not
college.
at all. It's closer to
Ah.
baseball. It's kind of like
Okay,
getting
so you
picked
just
up by
go
foreigners.
straight into a team.
Yeah, we turned down the academy in Chicago. It's too damn cold, so they wanted him up
He
there
already got offered a gig.
Yeah,
He's 12?
12. He's your height. You should
Wow.
see him. He's a tall fucker.
6'5".
Yeah, and I'm buying new cleats every goddamn 2 weeks.
Wow.
to
Is
keep
he
up
still
with
at
him.
Lusher?
Yeah, they both are. My
All right.
daughter, she's in the 10th grade. He's in the 7th now.
All right.
Yeah, right
Well,
up the street.
This sounds very promising.
Oh, it is.
Marcy, you've
what
got a
position?
little-
Defensive
Yeah,
striker?
he's they just moved him to center back. He was left back. Yeah, and we just won a tournament this week, and he's been kicking ass, man.
Okay, well, congratulations. This could be good for Dad.
Yeah, I mean, it's so far so good. I got
I played for 20-some years and coached. I loved
Really?
the game, yes. I was a midfielder. And
Okay.
Games changed, but
Yeah, it's changed.
Has it?
Well, I'm new to the game. Let me not say that. I'm new to the game. I'm
How's
learning
it-
through him.
yeah, how's it
How's
changed?
it changed?
well, first of all, there's more access to it. I mean, more
Yeah.
access.
Yeah,
to
there
it.
was
There's-
no soccer here.
Right. There's
Which
being
is-
more money. Is being there's more money. You have the youth league. There wasn't any youth leagues when I was going. I played in high school,
Right.
And we did extremely well. So our school funded us. And
Where was this? What
That was
school?
in North. I was originally from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And so soccer it was growing up there.
Yeah.
But never really didn't get its foot. It was really even bigger in the South, but just never really seemed to take its foothold with that. But now you got a lot of people that are playing it. Parents are supporting it.
Yeah.
It's, everyone wanted their kid to be a baseball or football star,
player, yeah.
or ballet or tap dancer, or
Yeah.
and now you have women playing football. Which, by the way, I was more of a supporter of the women's team for years, even before they started winning the
Really?
men's team, because just the way they represented themselves, and we always fielded the best women's player that the U.S. had to offer, and it shows. 'cause
Right.
it's a
They're
Phenomenal
pretty. They kick
program.
ass.
Are we winning women's?
So if
we have a
anyone's
women-
listening from the women's side thing in the Olympics, we need to up the money and the pay to the women.
Yep.
I thought you said the women's team was better than the men's team.
They're better, but they're still
Performance-wise, I don't mean if you played them women against
Compensation.
men. I don't know, but compensation. If it was performance pay, they'd be killing it. They're
Yeah.
they're
Is there
phenomenal.
any chance of women and men playing on the same team?
I
soccer?
see it coming
Wouldn't
in the
it-
future. The world's
wouldn't that-
changing.
I mean, that's
Girls
soccer.
can now
You
be Boy Scouts, so the world's changing, man.
Yeah, I saw that too. You can be a Boy Scout if you're a girl,
Yeah.
which is an interesting.
So it may be
twist.
possible.
So now, Marcy, you gave up the French Quarter Festival, though,
I
right?
did in December. Yes.
What made you quit it?
I had 2 kids, and I said, you know what? I can either be really, really good at my job still and be a terrible mom, or something had to give.
that the
you know what I
choice?
mean?
You had to be a
yeah.
terrible-
Well, I mean, it's just the hours were so intense. We didn't just produce French Quarter Fest; it was 3 festivals, and there were so many 7-day work weeks and so many 15-hour days that. As amazing as my husband is, it was just not good. So, yeah.
Right.
So I had to step away. And, 10 years is a good run.
Yeah. Do you miss it now?
I miss the people so much, and I miss the French Quarter. The French Quarter is a special place.
You like being in the French Quarter? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Ballet's okay. Ballet's
So
good.
what are you doing now? You're working for the ballet.
Yeah, and it's nice. I'm not the boss. I'm the fundraiser. I raise all the money. And we're an amazing organization approaching our 50th year coming up.
How many? 50.
50, almost 50.
50 years
Yeah.
of ballet.
Nice.
In New Orleans, yeah. And it's one of the big three, the symphony, the opera, the ballet. And we don't just bring in the best companies in the world and put them up on stage. We also do so much in the community. We partner for 26 years, we've partnered with the New Orleans Recreation Department, NORD, and we do free dance classes all over New Orleans, 12 centers. Some of our kids start with us at 3, and they go all the way through high school, and they've become professional dancers.
Ballet.
Yeah,
You
it's one of
do
the best
free
top.
ballet.
It's one of the top programs in the United States. There's no other program like we've got in New Orleans.
That's
It's awesome.
I
It
didn't
is.
know that.
Wow.
It's great. Yeah.
Well, how do we get to be a pioneer in that, of all things?
There was a
Who's
group of community leaders who were really committed to getting some world-class programming in the NORD facilities, so these kids in the neighborhoods would have opportunities that they otherwise couldn't have. Dance is really expensive. Taking classes is incredibly expensive. And
Pretty
so,
well. Why is it so expensive? We need
well,
a
it's
pair
not
of
just the
shoes.
classes are expensive, but then you've got the costumes, and it's a commitment. It's a big commitment.
What do you wear for a costume? Oh, you mean for put on an actual ballet?
Yeah, well, in your everyday life, you're wearing leather shoes. You might be wearing point shoes that you need a new pair every month, like you're talking about the cleats.
How much is a pair of ballet shoes?
$30, $40.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
Now, how much are they
expensive.
now that Nike started making them?
Did they?
Oh, I don't know.
Nike started making them for real?
I'm probably.
Oh, you made that up. Okay. That would be a good idea.
Nike,
You
if you're
could have-
listening.
Wasn't even on my point sheet.
Not even on
Yeah.
your. Hey, what's the next talking point?
Yeah, what's your next talking point?
My next talking
Marcy, what was the first one? We didn't even get past the first one.
I don't know.
There's something about festival.
Oh, no, we were defining
cochon d'oeil. We didn't even get
d'oeil.
past what a cochon
And then we got
d'oeil
into
is.
the cops.
Yes.
Yeah.
A cochon d'oeil is a way of cooking pork.
Pork, correct.
That was pioneered, I think, in Acadiana, wasn't it? And cochon means pig, and d'oeil
Yes.
means of milk, I believe, in
Right,
French.
right.
Correct? You speak French, Marcy?
Suckling pig.
Enough to know that.
Suckling pig. C-Rock. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a fact checker?
Yes.
What
C-Rock
are you
is
doing
our
over
fact
there?
checker.
We're
and-
struggling. Tell us where it came from. What did it do?
C-Rock, do you have the info in front of you?
Not yet, but getting it up.
No, he's only had 10 minutes, so, it's early
He's
days.
like your
I did
McLovin.
have it
He's
up.
your, like
Yeah,
your
that's how I
McLovin,
got
right?
Well, we moved on from that, but then we're coming back to this is a festival that's going to raise money for the cops, Second
Correct, for the
District
Second
Police.
District.
And where's it going to be
It's
exactly?
going to be over at Palmer Park.
Okay.
Hey,
And
it's
it's-
my neighborhood.
Good.
It's not the Second District, of course.
No, not the second. This guy.
Right?
Not no, it,
Why aren't you
it
having it in the
actually?
city?
I think that's a border right there, but yeah, it's
okay.
still Second District.
It is still the Second District.
Actually,
That's
the
a
second
big-
the actual Second District
No wonder the cops never
headquarters
show
now
up.
is no longer in the Second District. They move around. We're building a new.
You've got to be kidding.
Building a new.
Only in New Orleans.
District
the Second
center.
District.
Where is it?
Oh, it's over in is it Gertville off of
Gertown?
Gertown.
Oh, all right.
That's all new.
yeah, all
Great
right.
Run. It's going to have a public
I
swimming
did
pool.
see
It's gonna
the
have
plans for that.
The
That's
police
dope.
station is going to have its own pool.
Well, that's where they're going to build a community pool. It's going to be a phenomenal.
So then I am
center.
second district if it's in Gertown. I'm right up the street from that.
You know,
So what's going to happen to that beautiful old building on Magazine?
Well, obviously you can't take it down, but
Yeah, it's historic.
They'll sell it.
Is it available for like condos?
Yeah, you know.
That'd be
you know
awesome.
I don't
to
think
live in the
it-
old police station.
I'm not sure they can really do anything with it. So
What?
it'll just linger around until the city
Like,
sells it, I
falls
guess.
down.
But it is a historical.
Why are they
landmark.
moving
It
out
used
of
to be
there? Is it
courthouse.
too small?
Too small. It's in really
not practical anymore.
terrible shape.
I bet. Someone
Man,
got the
it's
one in
alright.
the 7th Ward, and it's a bed and breakfast now.
Oh,
the
God,
one on
that's-
Durgeon Wall. And
Oh,
It's
yeah?
made just like that one. On
It's very hard for our police force to get up to date and technical. It's almost impossible to keep converting old buildings. Though it's just time to start fresh.
Yeah.
But
new.
is this really true what you just said, that the Second District Police Station will no longer be in the Second District? Is that even possible?
The existing district building right now, they moved the lines a little bit, so it actually is in the 6th
The
district.
current Second District Police Station
current.
building on Magazine
It's in the
Street and
sixth.
Napoleon.
Yeah, they moved the
is not
lines
in the
because it
sixth.
goes up to Napoleon now, and then
Okay.
after Napoleon comes the 2nd.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it's technically only in the 6th District by a half a block or
Yes, the
something.
6th is
Yeah.
in the 2nd.
Okay, so now, whereas the Second District Police Station will now be in the Second District, is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
the new one is going to be.
All right.
And
That
it's
makes more
going to be a
sense.
beautiful building.
I think part of it is the mayor's been really, really good at getting federal money, and I think he's gotten this federal money, and he's been doing these. There's another one, isn't it? Like over near Xavier, another beautiful new police station
That's
slash
what he's
community
talking about,
center.
right. That's what he's
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about.
that's
Oh, that's
right.
the one.
Right.
That's Good
Yeah.
Town, yeah.
But I think the mayor's been great at getting that federal money to help this infrastructure stuff.
We need
you
all
know?
help we can get.
Aren't we
Yeah.
under some sort of consent decree from the federal government where we have to do what they
It's
say?
almost
Our
over.
police force.
Yeah, I heard
Is that
it's
right?
almost over. I just heard that the other
And
day.
has it worked? Whatever they were trying to achieve.
I'm on the edge of the fence on that one. I
Kind
mean,
of wait and see.
Well, you guys are both the cops experts.
Well, from my point of view, a lot of really, really great officers were unduly punished for things that were part of their job. They were accused of things that were just part of their job, and so
What sort of things?
well, like details, like preference on detail. Like for example, at French Quarter Fest, we had an officer who, because of our request, would handpick the police for our detail. Because they had institutional knowledge. They had been working our festival for 20 years. They knew what to
Right.
expect. They knew what to do. It was a smart thing to do. And it was like, no, this is nepotism. This is favoritism. This is blah, 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 blah. And it was so... And they got... A lot of them aren't cops anymore. And it's just sad.
They got fired because of.
Well, they were
got picked for detail?
demoted, and they were held. They were media scrutiny. They were shamed. It was not cool.
Hang on a minute. You mean these are guys who worked details? Or the guys who
Some of the
picked
detail
the guys?
commanders, yeah.
The detail commanders.
Yeah.
Because there was apparently, but is that now you're saying it's not
Right.
true? There was a whole scheme or a scam where they picked their friends and there was
Well, I'm
some
sure
sort
that
of
happened in
kickback
some
going on.
cases, but like with big events like ours, that was not the case.
Right.
And it was, yeah.
So people got actually fired from the police force?
They weren't fired. They were
Like-
kind of punished and shamed, and a lot of them left because it was
Right.
just not a good place to
It's
work anymore.
unbearable, I bet.
Yeah,
Well,
and a lot of them
people
got pay
say-
cuts too. They did a structured system of payroll, and we were paying them more hourly
Right.
for their detail. And then when they structured, they started getting paid less, and we're like, well, we don't want to pay them less. I mean, you know.
So whose fault was that? Was that Surpass's fault when he?
No, that was
it
the consent decree.
That was the consent decree.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good with the consent decree, but there was also some fallout for sure.
Wow. Well, the police force is the police. Well, you would know this, Joe. Really, for real, is the police force as demoralized as you hear? And
Well, I
on
think
its-
it's in all
talk about taking a knee.
walks of life, all professions, all different organizations. There's never's going to be 100% happy.
Right.
But it's a tough. It's
Nesby's
a tough time
100%
for all.
happy.
Huh?
Right, you're 100% happy, aren't you, in your business?
In my business?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, the hip hop people are 100% happy.
Hell no. You
No?
crazy?
What about the ballet people?
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, pretty happy.
We're always trying to find more money, but other than that, we're so happy.
All the broadcast people are pretty happy.
Yeah.
Well,
We have
like
more
I said
dr-
earlier,
more
we
drugs
all
over
have
there.
we all have something to kneel about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one. Great callback.
All right. So, what are the police thinking of this whole thing? Are they happy? Would you give them cash, or what is the deal with
Oh
this?
no! It's all 100% of the money we raise all goes to police. So the organization,
So they
no
don't-
one on the
That's
organization,
what
we're
I'm
all
saying. Do
volunteers.
you give them cash? You're giving them
No,
what-
cash. They get
you buy them stuff.
They'll put in for the commander of the second district. Usually will come to us and they'll say, okay, here's what our needs are. Here's what we're sure. Here's where we're having problems. And then our board gets together and votes. Okay, we're going to do this. How are we going to do it? And then how we go about doing it. Like one of the first things that I was in charge of was there's no AC in the second district building.
Are you serious?
So we had to upgrade that. So you can imagine,
What the fuck? There's no AC in the
there was
police
no
station.
AC. And
How long ago was this?
this was over the last 10 years. They were window units, and then they didn't have the electrical ability to run all the different
I don't
units.
think you put the hangover destroyer in the drink. I think you have to take
I don't
that.
think it's going to matter. But
You don't think it's going to work?
I don't think it's going to matter.
But you think it's not going to work? I don't think
I
you can
don't, I
put
don't
it in
know,
the booze.
but if
Well, the drink's gone. I was just gonna run it over ice, but
He's
I
gonna
didn't
have
realize it was.
he's gonna
so
have a
good.
hangover destroyer on the rocks.
I'll tell you something about hangover
I got
destroyer.
wine drunk yesterday, so I saw it. I was like, I'll give it a.
What were you drinking yesterday?
I don't know what kind of wine. I had 4 reds
Wine.
and then a white, and I woke
5
up.
glasses of wine there.
Yeah, bro. Film festival shit. Yeah.
That could do it. Are you at the film festival?
Yeah.
So you're trying to be like all educated and sophisticated with you.
Nah, I was just coming to drink.
the directions say that you should have had one of these because between 4 and 5 drinks, you have one of these for
Okay.
every 4 to 5 drinks.
Hangover, you know what? Let me tell you, hangover destroyer is the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover.
Yeah.
Not cure it, it's to prevent it.
Oh.
If you go to the Hangover
You're
Destroyer
too late.
website, it's called hdestroyer.com, and you write happy hour on the coupon code, you get 30% off of your first order of Hangover Destroyer, or you can just get it free here.
Prior to this, my hangover destroyer was coconut water and a BC headache powder.
Did that work?
It does.
It does. Coconut water and a BC
Yeah,
headache
you got to
powder.
hydrate and then knock that
Okay.
whatever that shit is in your head out.
Wow. Okay, let me tell you about our other sponsors as well. Basic Swim and Gym. You know about those guys? It's a place where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. You can get a bikini, a one-piece, Joe,
I'm more of a
cover-up?
two-piece guy.
10 piece?
10-piece.
For me,
10 piece
for
with
me,
flies.
I need a couple of yards of material. Right?
Well, you can get everything you need for the beach and poolside at Basic Swim and Gym. It's next to the lingerie store Basics Underneath on Magazine Street, right up.
Can you get fat shamed
Right
on
up
the
from
radio?
your
Can you get
place.
fat shamed on a podcast?
You can get fat
Do you-
shit anywhere, baby.
You don't regard
For the
yourself
world.
But I got a second reason to kneel now.
That's why we got
As long
two
as-
knees.
And listen to this one. This
And
is
four
good-
chins. I
This
got
is
two
good
knees
for
and
you
four
too.
chins.
There's just more stuff you can buy. Joe, Louisiana Legs workout and yoga clothes. It's about time you start doing yoga, isn't it?
I'm all into yoga pants.
You really? Okay. Well, this is where you can get them from. You can get them on Etsy. It's called Louisiana Legs. They're designs that incorporate photographic art like Mardi Gras beads, boiled crawfish, wrought iron from France, and caves in China. You can find Louisiana Legs on Facebook and Instagram, and you can buy it on Etsy. It's
Maybe
Louisiana
they'll make you some
Legs.
cochon de lait leggings.
Good idea
Yeah.
with dead pigs.
Yeah.
Little pigs.
Little hoofs in them.
Yeah. So what goes on? So you have all these restaurants coming out to this place. Have you ever put on a festival before?
Yeah, I've been involved in the blues festivals that we've done. This one here, though, is probably the biggest yet, our biggest.
Do you have any
venture.
questions about it? Because Marcy put on French Quarter Festival for 10
I have
years. So
a-
this is your first.
The only question I have is how many people are going to get out there and support the police department? That's my question. And I hope
Marcy, what's the answer?
Promote, promote, promote. Read those notes. Well,
You've got-
did you
yeah.
see Po' Boy Fest rescheduled today? They're not on
Yeah,
top of you, are they?
No, they were coming the day after. They were on Sunday.
Why did they
rescheduled.
reschedule Pole Boys?
Because it's going to rain.
Weather.
Yeah.
On
Well,
Sunday?
Even more interesting is Friday is St. Edward's Cochon de lait Festival, so they're going head to head with you. Are you?
Where's St.
Where,
Edward's?
what is that? Where is that?
Sea-Rock.
Yeah, this is a NOLA.com article. 2 Cochon de lait Fest go head to head this weekend.
What? The Battle of the Pigs.
Yeah,
Wait,
not
Wait, are you this
yeah.
weekend? You're this
Pick your,
weekend coming
okay,
up?
so you got to pick your pork.
All right.
Yeah.
I would totally go
Don't
to
go
two in
out
a
on
row,
Friday.
No worries. Who is Saint Edward?
Is that a school?
Was he the saint of pigs?
Yeah,
Did
it's
he
in,
show
it's
up?
in
Did he
Metairie,
show up
so-
here?
Oh, it's in Metairie.
It'll
Come on,
be-
man.
yeah, it'll
It's
be a
an
lot
Orleans
later.
Parish
Doesn't
thing, man.
count, yeah.
Put your fucking mic down. This is an Orleans Parish show. It's New Orleans.
That's good finding on your part, though, Sea-Rock.
Nah,
you
good
got to
job,
say,
dude.
you
Good
know.
job.
But you're in
Jeff.
Palmer Park, too. Just the drive-by alone
Yeah.
is so
The
phenomenal.
appeal is
We, I mean,
Good
we have
spot.
some great bands. We've got the Soul Rebels going to be out there.
Hey.
Big Sam, Funky Nation,
Hey.
Rock and
Okay.
Doopsie.
All
Oh, my
right, you're
God.
rolling. You got a
And
cool
then-
trifecta
Yeah.
already.
You know what
Yeah.
you need to do? Seriously?
That's cool.
You're on right where all the streetcars come in.
Yeah.
RTA will promote it for you. And
Hey.
WDSU has the streetcar tracker. Like
That's what
get-
I'm talking
Where's,
about.
Get-
where's Gamble at? Because Gamble's
She's
doing,
right behind you. over
they're
there.
doing a great
Yeah,
job.
RTA
They're
will
doing
promote
a
it
great
for
Those
you.
job
Gamble
for
girls
us.
are awesome.
This is the first time we've used an organization like that, and they're doing like a great job.
But do they know about the RTA line stopping there and promoting?
I'm
for
sure
free?
they know. They're going to surprise us with that probably this afternoon. They're probably going to surprise us.
Oh, they probably have that
Yeah.
in the back
Renee's
pocket.
working on
And
that right now.
WDSU has the streetcar tracker, so DSU should promote it too.
What is a streetcar tracker? They can
They-
tell where the streetcar is?
Yeah, it's an app you get from DSU, and
didn't
then
know that.
it's buses too. It's not just streetcars, but you can see where anything is in the city. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Nice.
Did you
And the
know
festival,
that?
and the festival's free, so you don't pay to get in. So,
Right.
and the vendors they pay a fee to be there, and then so you come
So-
out, you eat, you drink. Dixie's involved. We've got
Dixie beer?
Dixie beer,
Okay.
and we do have a special surprise band, but they don't want us to promote them. So when the tribe shows up,
Okay. Aha, I see
Yeah.
that. I know how.
Flow
I
Tribe
caught
mail.
that.
I didn't say that.
That would be if Flow Tribe's going to be there. Why wouldn't they want their name out?
I don't know if they're going to be there.
Why
They're
do you
gonna be
have-
there?
why do
you
you-
said it. I didn't. I guess you can say it.
I'm not
can't
even
say it.
here. I'm working on a hangover.
Am I tripping?
This shit is nasty, by the way.
So I was just going to say, how is that?
This shit is destroying me. This shit is horrible. I need a fucking sandwich.
You need
now.
a
Be
BC
dead-
powder.
it's a Des destroyer.
It makes me want to drink again.
Have another drink.
Yeah.
Someone will get you. April will get you another drink. What are you drinking?
The Rocky Toddy, something Toddy.
Rocky Toddy. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting like half price because it's happy hour. So.
Okay, cool,
And I think
yeah.
they'll give it to you for free.
Talk. Running
So
again because
April can hook you up.
I'm destroyed.
That's
Well, I think the problem is you only had one drink, and you're supposed to have 4 or 5 before you
Before
drink.
you
one.
had-
I
hang on,
had
that's
4 or
right.
5 about 16 hours ago.
Are you
so.
still feeling bad?
I did because I didn't feed myself good today. I
bad.
just been rolling.
Well, what
with
were you
meat.
doing at the film festival?
This was a party. I missed a bunch of the events. I
Right.
got a pass, and I didn't make damn near any of it. And I was like, this shit's about to be over. I need to go and show face. So I went.
Why are you
to the
supposed
punch
to?
train.
Why you want to be a part of it? What's
Why
your
did I want to
connection?
be?
Yeah. Why did you have to show up?
I'm
for
a musician. I'm a musician. I work in film. In
Oh,
a,
you do
like,
stuff in
in a
movies?
roundabout way.
Right.
I mean, what's a film without music? Like so.
What music do you
Silent.
do?
What music? I do all kind. Most people know me for the work I've done in hip hop, but I've scored in several short films and 48-hour film festivals. I scored Lil Wayne's video game app is my biggest to date as of last year. I'm the director of Mahalia Jackson's estate, so I manage that catalog or whatnot, and I'm just in and out of all around music, So
That's so cool. What does that mean? It means when someone wants to use her music, they go through you?
Yeah,
For
so
permissions
I'm
and-
in charge of her. We represent her. Me and the 3 other family members on the board.
Oh my
she
God,
was-
that's
we are Mahalia
fascinating.
Jackson.
She was your relative.
She's my great aunt. Yeah,
Your
she's
great
my
aunt.
great
Mahalia
grandmother's
Jackson
sister.
was my great aunt.
God.
I've been writing that
She's
since
my great grandmother's sister.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful thing. So we're actually doing something at the Jazz Museum on October 26th to commemorate her birthday. It's 105 years old, arguably, because back then they didn't have birthdays. So
Right.
the internet says 1911, but her grave says 1912. But from 5 to 7, Thursday, October 26th, we're going to be doing something to celebrate that. We have some art items that we're selling because we're working on getting the historical markers on her home. The church she started singing at, and that's all in the Black Pearl, and then her gravesite, which is at the Providence Memorial Park on Airline. Yeah, so and we're launching a website, social media, the whole 9.
Wow.
NPR should do a story on you.
Well-
That's amazing.
Good idea.
Well,
Don't
we're
you
promoting
think?
on that. We haven't made our way to the story yet, but
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get the Gamble girls. Have you got some publicist working on this for you?
no, I don't. We should talk. We should definitely talk.
Talk to Gamble,
All
yeah.
right.
Talk to Gamble.
Yeah, you're right.
Gambel.
right.
PR.com, I think it is. Is that right? Something like that.
All right, cool. I'm
That
with
would
it.
be
'cause
cool.
We need it.
So how come there's only so Mahalia Jackson was born and raised here in New
Yeah,
Orleans?
she was.
And then-
she left when she was 16, and she went to Chicago.
And did she have a family or
Yes,
kids?
she did. She had a family. That's where half her family was here.
Yeah.
And
I mean, did she had kids? I mean, did she?
No, she never had any
She never had
children.
any children.
No, she never had
So
any
she had
children.
brothers and sisters. She had a
She had-
sister was your grandmother.
Yeah, that was her half sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and but she, it's a big family. She was actually the outside child for a young lady named Charity around the corner from Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson. Her dad, and then her mom's family raised her. They were limited on how far they could bring her, just as far as development, because they were all just maids or whatever. Aunt was her grandmother, and so she went to Chicago to live with the other sisters.
And was she
The
singing?
other
at this-
aunts. Yeah,
was
she started singing at 5 at Mount Mahalia Church on Milledon, which is literally one house away from the corner, which is across the street from the Corps of Engineers. So it's a big pink, it's a big small pink church that's right there. I used to actually live across the street from there when I first had my daughter. And so she went up there just before the Depression, and she, everyone was doing pretty well up there, especially in the black community. Comparative to the South, or better than the South, if you will.
And what
then-
years are we talking about now?
So it was 16 plus, that was just 1930 something.
30s.
Yeah, she went up there and, she got everything together and she was rolling. Then the Great Depression hit. Everybody was back on soup lines and stuff like that. And the Depression is where her popularity grew because when she would come in to sing in local churches, even though it was the Depression, the tithes and offerings went up. Wow. And this is from the horse's mouth. She has an autobiography that you possibly could catch it online. It's out of print, but you can find it on eBay. That she's co-authored, and it's called "Moving On Up." She talks about how it started locally, and then it started to go outside of Chicago to like Gary, Indiana, and surrounding areas, and eventually trickled its way down to the South, and then the Civil Rights Movement became real big, and then she became what I like to reference as the spiritual ambassador, because just like the preachers would get her to kind of stir the spirits up to raise tithes and offerings, she was sort of her voice was like the drummer boy for riling up spirits to go out and do these marches. And she sung at the JFK inauguration, the March on Washington. It's rumored that she's the one that pulled Martin Luther King's coattail to tell them about your dream, Martin. So so she has a very intriguing story. And though she was a gospel singer and the world's greatest one, she is an American icon. She's not classically trained.
That was the interesting thing about her. She never crossed over and became a popular singer.
No, actually, even with her record deal, she refused any embellishment on her style.
Right.
They wanted symphonies, the whole nine. Yeah. And she said, all I need is Mildred and a stage. I'm going to stomp, clap, and she going to play, and that's all we going to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so she was
She did the first few jazz fests, right?
She did the first one.
Just the first one?
Famous photo of her and Duke Ellington.
Yeah, because she died like a year or two later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so her and Duke Ellington came down.
How did we get Duke Ellington to come down here to Jazz Fest?
She did.
They
were friends.
Okay.
Yeah, they were friends. So
did she ever sing with his orchestra?
I can't remember. I have to check that. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
But even though she was a gospel singer, it coexisted in the jazz space because there wasn't as big of an institution for gospel.
Right.
And even now when they just did an exhibition at the Jazz Museum called the Women of Note. They had to put her into that because there aren't many things out there that's honoring gospel singers on a popular level. So she kind of coexists in both spaces. But she's definitely an American icon and a true New Orleanian. She maintained that identity throughout. I mean, being on first name basis with kings and everywhere from Germany to freaking Saudi Arabia, and she never left. She never lost that personality she gained in the Black Pearl.
What was the name of the? You mentioned the book. What was the name of the book?
Moving On Up. It was titled after one of her songs.
She's musical royalty for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely Moving On Up.
So how come there's only you and 3 other people left who are?
It's a bunch of us left, but we're. It's 4 of us on the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's a bunch of us.
There's a bigger family.
She has a humongous family.
Right.
Yeah,
but I mean, are they all part of the company or the?
No, I mean everyone's
heirs?
everyone's a benefactor, but it's 4 of us that manage the estate.
So you decide if someone comes to you and wants to do like a
we
movie about
year near it. We year near it. Yeah,
right.
And there's been attempts, in some.
Does anyone want to make a movie? Has anyone suggested that?
I mean, we want to make a movie.
Who would play her? Who would you get to play her?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Because if you pay attention to who she was, I don't even know if they make people with spunk like that no more. So,
well, it's acting, dude.
I get it, but
someone can fake Meryl Streep.
Yeah, but some people that's very
Meryl
Streep as Mahalia Jackson.
This guy,
I can see it now.
Hey,
the last big role.
At least it'd be an Oscar now.
Beyonce would be a good choice.
Do you think so?
Halle Berry?
No, too small.
Jennifer Hudson?
Too small. Jennifer lost too much weight. We'd have whoever it is, we got to fluff them up.
What about Precious?
That's too large and disrespectful.
So we're looking for Baby Bear, just right?
Yeah.
Too large, too small, too
just
soft.
right, yeah. And I may be a little too close to it to be the guy to actually decide it because there's an authenticity in anyone or anything that comes from New Orleans that I feel as though I'm a gatekeeper on. And when people try to translate that, I think they miss a lot of what we are when they try to commercialize.
Well,
these
Treme
things.
was pretty good. That was pretty. It was okay. It was okay. It was pretty accurate. I don't know how exciting it was to watch, but
I mean, aesthetically, yes.
Do y'all remember K-ville? Remember K-ville?
Horrible.
It was so bad.
It was horrible, wasn't it?
It was so bad. You had to watch it. You had to watch it.
That was the one. That's when I cut it off when
God,
Anthony Anderson said something about a freaking gumbo party.
Gumbo party. That was great.
Yeah, but Anthony used to come into my place, and he's a cool dude.
No, he's great.
He is.
Oh yeah, nothing against him. The
amazing.
writers were terrible.
How long have you been owning the Le Bon Temps?
I'm going into my 14th year.
14 years, the Bon Temps. Are you there every night?
Well, I used to be. Just to recently, I started taking some time off.
Wow, but you've been there every night for most of the last 14 years.
Yes.
So who's the greatest band you ever heard? You went, oh my God, these guys are fucking awesome.
Oh, well, I mean, Soul Rebels.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say it.
I mean, Soul Rebels, pretty much got their start there, and they've just done phenomenal.
And they're working with everybody right now, too.
Worldwide.
Yes, indeed.
And, so they come in and they practice. They use the place also during the days to practice
That's
from
dope.
time to time. So
are they still rehearsing?
Oh, well.
You got to rehearse, baby. It's called shedding.
Sometimes you can kind of get an idea of what they've got coming up because you'll hear them playing certain songs. Like they did They went out to California to work with Metallica when Metallica had their big, I guess it was their
tour or whatever.
Tour party or like a celebration of so many years. And they were down. I was upstairs in the office, and I'm listening. I'm saying, like, what are they? Is that Metallica they're playing? And then I put two and two together.
So you got contact on their management and stuff?
Yep, sure do.
I'm trying to do a song with those guys.
You can't get through to them?
Is it Adam
They don't
Shipley?
take your
Is it
phone call?
Adam?
I mean, it's not that. But the opportunity
know
right in
them
front of my
Isn't
face.
it Adam Shipley? Is he managing?
Adam
Yeah,
Shipley.
Adam Shipley.
I'll get you all the information.
I would love that. I
I'll
really
send
want to work with them because they working in. They do a lot in the hip hop space. You know, they travel a lot with Nas, which is one of my favorite rappers. And
really?
they play with all type of people. And
What do you want to do? What sort of thing are you thinking?
well, I'm working on an album called Nola Toisson, which is my
Called Nola what?
Toisson, which is French. Toisson, which is French for 300.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm creating my own time capsule of the history of New Orleans music. Yeah,
Well,
I'm working, man.
who's on it so far?
Me right now. We're writing for it, so
Okay.
I'll keep a few surprises in the tuck for you. I don't want to lift the dress up too early.
All right. Well, we got time because it's not till when is that next year?
Yeah, it's next
November.
year, May 7th.
Another launch in November.
Well, the city's launching
Yeah.
their campaign, but this is my own contribution to it. So this is my musical time capsule that I'm creating. So
Wow.
I'm covering every genre that ever came out this summer.
And it's stuff that's current today or it's historical?
It's historical, so I'm starting with Congo Square. I'll give that away. That's the first track,
okay.
right? And then we're going to go through all of the genres that ever made a mark on American music. Yeah, because essentially we have something to do with every genre that ever came out of America, starting with jazz.
That's what Ernie Cato used to say.
There you go.
He said that all music comes from New Orleans.
There you go.
Is it true? I thought he was just like crazy.
No, it's not.
No, it's true.
American
Is that
music
right?
is New Orleans music.
So we've had a contribution to make to every genre of music that's come out of in the world, in the country.
Gospel, jazz,
Yes.
funk, R&B. You know, like we talking Allen Toussaint here now.
Mm-hmm.
We talking Louis Armstrong here. We talking Trombone Shorty. We're talking Lil Wayne. We're talking Mahalia Jackson. All of these, everyone I name is an icon.
Right.
You know, so
What about stupid pop music?
stupid pop music?
Yeah.
I mean, we've made our
Like-
way into that. Name stupid pop music.
Or what's her
I
name?
think Graham
Taylor
was saying
Swift.
like stupid pop.
Taylor Swift. say.
Taylor Swift?
Did we have any contribution to stupid pop music like that?
I wouldn't call it.
She's on my UPS
Oh,
truck.
okay.
So it's-
Yeah, she's on every
But look at
freaking.
you even look
fuck
at
is up with that?
like country music, like you had
Country,
Louisiana
I hadn't even
Hayride.
thought of country
Louisiana Hayride,
There you
right?
go.
That's
so
true.
famous.
That's from Shreveport.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
but
They did a lot of
Louisiana,
country
Yeah.
coming out of here.
Yeah, rockabilly.
But that's not New Orleans.
That's Louisiana, but it's
Louisiana.
all
You're gonna
close enough
broaden it out to
related.
Oh,
Louisiana?
you
Nah,
give it
I'm not. I'm gonna keep it authentic New Orleans,
Okay.
but I mean, because it's enough here to do it. You know,
What is up with Taylor Swift's photo on every UPS truck in the country?
man?
I don't know. She's not returning my call.
But
So.
whose idea is that? Who's getting?
I don't know, but it was clever though. Whoever did it,
But what do they need each other for? Why does UPS
because
need Taylor
dude,
Swift?
how many times in your day do you see a UPS truck? That is ad
I've
space.
noticed it more often now that I see Taylor Swift on the side.
right?
of it, I have
But it
to
was in
say.
passing prior to, right? And it's always there. It's a part. You see
Right.
UPS more than you might see cops someday, right?
Absolutely,
Some days.
for sure.
So
But if you come out to cops too and you support the police, you'll start seeing more police
We
officers.
are
like
coming
that.
to that for sure. It's Cochon. What is it actually called?
The Cochon
Cochon
de
de Lay
Festival. The Nola
Festival.
Cochon de Lay Festival.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with St. Andrews Festival.
St. Edward's.
St. Edward's.
Well, what about the other
Who
pork?
was saying that was? We don't care.
There's another pork festival here that goes on every year too.
Is there Hogs for the
Hogs
Cause?
for the Cause.
Okay.
Hawks for
Do you know those people?
No, I participated in the first year.
Is that for
as a
cancer?
boy. That's
Yeah, pediatric brain cancer.
All right.
Those are nice guys. They're nice guys. The
Yeah.
guys that did it. Yeah.
look. All festivals, they're out to support something, and they got a good cause, and I think that's
So you're going to
great.
sneak this in before the rain arrives on Sunday, according to.
Oh, definitely.
I can't believe that somebody would really believe the weather forecast is going to be that accurate 4 or 5 days out. Is that true?
Man, my grandfather said you won't know the weather, walk outside.
Exactly.
You know,
Grandfather was
'cause
right.
We were supposed to have a hurricane the other day, and that shit ain't happening.
Well, that's, thank God for that. But
Yeah.
he's right. You can't predict the weather here 4 or 5 days out. Can you, Marcy? You must have done this for years with French Quarter Festival.
Yeah, in my 10 years, we had 1 year with rain.
Really?
One, yeah.
That's
Right.
beautiful.
So lucky.
It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite festivals, by the
Aw,
way, because
thank
it's
you.
it's
Yeah.
large, but it's still quaint.
neighborhood, yeah.
Well, you presided over that during the years that it's become incredibly popular.
Yeah,
When you
I
started
got
off,
there,
it was no big deal.
Yeah, when I got there, there was a little bit of an identity crisis. It was, I knew there was something special there, but no one was good at tooting the horn, and so I did a lot of digging. I'm like, we know what we've got, but how do we get people to understand it. And so,
Joe, listen up to this. How did you?
we found every year University of New Orleans was hired to do the economic impact study, and I was digging through the reports, and I'm like, holy shit, look at this economic impact, $350 million economic impact. So then I'm like, well, what's everyone else's? Because it doesn't mean anything unless you know what everyone else has. So I started looking around, and the only thing bigger than French Quarter Fest was Mardi Gras.
So you had a
Second
high,
largest to Mardi Gras. Bigger than Jazz Fest even.
That was just what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You have a bigger
Which people
economic-
never believe, but when you understand that when you take a free festival like that and plop it in the middle of a neighborhood and don't charge admission, people come in and they're shopping in all those stores. They're spending so much money in the neighborhood that weekend that the economy
How
is
do you
just
work
huge.
out the economic impact? Is it by
Yeah,
sales tax?
UNO would come out every year and they would do surveys all over the French Quarter. So they're talking to people, find out where'd you come from, how much money are you spending, are you staying in a hotel, asking like all these kind of obnoxious questions, but all of it
That's how
turns
you
into
figure
like
it
your demographics and the economic impact. Yeah.
Do you want another drink, Nisby, for real?
No, I'm a chill because it's
we have
almost
table
over.
service. We get bottle service.
Someone usually shows up, and the
Sparkling.
service is not like the same at Le Bon Ton, where
It's impeccable at the Bon Ton.
Yeah. What's the food deal at the Bon Ton these days?
Right now, I'm letting people come in and do little pop-ups.
Right.
Really?
I've actually renovated the kitchen. We're getting ready to relaunch that.
So they
but-
used to have awesome hamburgers there back in last time.
Exactly, and a lot of people who drink there are in the service industry, and they cook, and they'll say, "Hey," and I'm like, "Sure, come on in." So we've been working with a lot of different pop-ups and food trucks.
So what's the
and
eventual
support them.
plan going to be now that you're getting it?
We're going to do. We're going to go back to doing a really nice. It's going to be a limited menu set, but we're going to do bar food, but more upscale bar food. So you're going to. I mean, it's going to be great. We can do.
We're talking truffle fries here.
No, not that upscale.
Right.
But just good. We're not trying to compete with a lot.
Why do you want to do upscale bar food in a bar for? Where everyone's just going to hear the music and drink.
Well, I mean, to offer quality. Let's say quality.
Okay.
Don't just.
When I hear
don't
upscale, I
wanna
hear
take-
expensive.
Well, no, I don't want to take the aspect like, okay, they're here, they're drinking, who cares? Let's just throw something at them. I want them. There's
Right.
a lot of people who enjoy going out and having a beer and getting a great burger.
That's
and a
not gonna
great
help
meal.
you, though, at all.
And
We're
that's-
not looking for those people, right?
No, that's fine. They want to come in and have a burger and a beer. We welcome.
Really?
As a patron of bars, I appreciate you doing that because I go to a lot of bars because of food. So
Where are you going now? Where do you like to go?
I'm a big fan of Mimi's.
Mimi's in the Marinade.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because
That's good food.
Because of what you can get at the hours you can get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's quality food at a late night.
That's a
deal.
good point. We'll keep it
Yeah.
up. 'Cause
I
you
actually
guys-
sent. There was a class reunion, not my class, but the class before me, earlier this year. Mostly everybody moved out of town. They didn't know what was going on in town. It was Thursday, and I sent them all to you, bro. They came to see Soul
Shit, we,
Rebel.
we get people all the time. We get Tulane University,
Of course.
Loyola alumni. We have people who got married here to come back and renew their vows. We've actually had a couple do it at Le Bon Ton. And
Nice.
in July, we had a couple come who actually met in Le Bon Ton while they were going to school at Tulane, and they got married, and then they came back. And they had a big party at Le Bon
That's
Ton.
dope.
So we do a lot of that, and it's pretty cool. It's like I said, I didn't invent the Bon Ton, and
You bought it.
Yes.
What made you buy it? What were you doing before
I
that?
was recovering from a triple bypass. I needed something to do.
What? That's a hell of a recovery.
Is that
method.
true?
It's actually true. Yes.
That was your recovery.
Yeah, it was my recovery. Gave me
Rehab.
Made me get up in
By a
the morning
bar.
and
Yeah.
at night. Actually, I didn't have to get up in the morning. I was still up.
Right. So,
Holy shit, that was really your idea for rehab and
Yeah, it was.
recovery was to buy the Bon Ton Relais.
Exactly.
And who'd you buy it from? Who owned it before?
Actually, I didn't actually buy it from anybody. The current owner was Pepper Keenan. He had just acquired it. And that's Pepper Keenan from Corrosion of Conformity, down local musician,
Right,
heavy metal.
right.
And I met him through a mutual friend, and we started talking, and he was living in North Carolina, and he gave me a call one time, and he said, hey, I own this bar, and I hear you're pretty good at stuff like that. Want
Were
to pick
you?
your brains.
Were you pretty good at it? Or
Yeah.
Did you
I
own a
was.
bar
Just
before?
Yes, I
Oh, you did? So you
in
never-
Pittsburgh.
And no, here.
Okay.
I didn't get in bar business till I was 40.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of fell into that, and I did.
You don't look that old right now. Right?
I look great for 70.
Get the fuck out of here.
What did you
I
own?
look terrible for 30.
What's the deal with these two watches? This one's lighting up. What
one's
does it say? 04. Is it
one's pedometer, heart monitor, all that stuff.
Are you
and
okay?
And the other one is a watch.
What's your heart rate? How are you looking?
Denzel turned me on to this, right?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, that's the one he wore in
Himself.
The Equalizer.
What?
Yeah.
I like that movie. I bought that movie,
I
actually.
love that one.
You did?
That's why I got that one.
Do you know Denzel, or did you just watch the movie?
No, I watched the movie.
Just watch the movie. Okay. And
Who really knows Denzel?
who turned you on to this one? Look at this. What is this? 75. Is that your heart rate?
That's my heart rate right now. I'm at
That's
54,
too high.
54 beats a minute.
54.
That's phenomenal.
What's 73? 54 is good.
73. That's my goal. So I need some more drinks.
Yeah.
I constrict those arteries and get that up.
A little reefer
Gotta
gets
get
you
up.
Then
there.
I take a little walk. I hit my 120. That's my rehab. See?
There you go.
That's great. Okay. That's pretty cool. So is this like a Fitbit thing or something?
Yeah, this one actually here is the Gear 2. That's Android, same as the phone, Samsung.
Okay.
And I had a Fitbit, and
What are
with
these?
the new phone, just coordinates with the phone. Everything's right there. I can get a message when I get a phone message, it lets me know, and I don't take my phone.
And what's
out
it
of my-
called?
That's called Gear 2.
Gear 2, and that's connected to your. That's the
It's connected
that's
to
the
my
Android
phone, right.
version of the Fitbit.
Yes.
Funny that we know the word Fitbit.
I think it's called Gear Fit, Gear 2.
They started
Gear
it,
2.
right?
Okay, you guys. All right. Well, Nesby, I wanted to ask you about this new thing you're working on too, called Black Man for Sale.
Yeah, I put it out in July.
It's out.
Yeah, it's out. It came out in July. I actually recorded it in 2014. Finished it.
2014. That's going back.
Yeah. And I sat on it for a while. So it's a 12-song project, and it started out with this one song we did called Bang Bang with this kid from Nashville named Mike Floss. And it was a song speaking to what was going on with the Trayvon Martins and Mike Browns of the world. And the producer, DJ Fool, he and I were making music that was different from that particular song. But he and I are from the same school of thought, if you will. And we decided to make more songs like that. And 12 songs later, I got this project. And it's somewhat of the title comes from basically what I believe to be the GoFundMe for the Western world, was the sale of Africans. We're talking about South America and everything from all the way up to up here and stuff, and the residual effects of it. But not in a bashing way, but more of a remedy way. This isn't like, a F the Police project. This
Right.
is somewhat of a neutral perspective on stuff for the most part. And then, like I have a song called Sun War that speaks to, I'm basically speaking to a young man in the neighborhood and giving them the 1, 2, 3 on what it is to be a stand-up guy. Like I'm telling them how to properly shake a hand, like I was taught at my nursery school, or look people in the eye when you talk, certain stuff like that, which is something that you don't really hear much in music,
Right.
or in most households because they've been broken up from systematic reasons, right? So not only is it something pointing out what happened to us, but it's also offering remedy to it. Like I have a song called Accountability, which is something I think my community needs a whole lot of. Because one thing I've learned in life, no matter what happened to you, whether your house burned down, if you were raped, or someone stole something from you, it's no one's responsibility to fix you but you, regardless of what someone else did. So a lot of people like to blame things that happen in our community. And as true as that may be, we have to fix them ourselves. There is no government program that's going to solve our problems. So in any form of life, and this applies to all, even outside of my community, you want something to change in your life, you have to be accountable for it.
When you say families have been ripped apart for systematic reasons, what do you mean by that?
When you look at the welfare system, when you look at if you look at the stats and you see how many black males are born, and then you look at how many are actually alive by the time they make 18,
Right.
And you look at the school to prison pipeline, we've been targeted, and you can look at the COINTELPRO with the CIA and the FBI from the J. Edgar Hoover days, and how the welfare works, and how the father had to be absent in order for the woman to receive it, and the residual effects of that, which is ultimately devaluing the black man in the family.
Do you think this is systematically being visited upon black communities?
It's no
As a-
question. There's no
there's no
question.
question about
There's
that.
no question. These are laws on hand that literally, you got the black codes, the whole nine. Even when slavery was made illegal, then it was just made to be illegal to be black. with the black codes and the black laws, and then you had your Jim Crow stuff, and it was illegal for more than 2 black men to get together in public, for all this stuff like that. So that's what I mean when I say systematically, and that's really the only way racism exists. Other than that, it's just somebody who feels a certain way about somebody. But racism actually exists in a systematic way, and these are things that are on the books, That's what I mean by
like
systematic.
Institutionalized racism.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we all thought that we were heading in the right direction up until about a year or so ago.
People say that.
Did you think that?
No, people say that because, and people reference things like the good old days and all that stuff. It's always been bad. Like we've
But we elected a black president. That sort of gave everybody hope that maybe we're in a...
That was a symbol. That was a symbol of progress.
Right.
But that's one guy in the grand scheme of what? I don't know how many black people we got in the country, like 30 million or something like that.
Yeah, but that symbol was at least symbolic. At least maybe that it was an indicator more than
it was an
indicator. But apparently it wasn't.
But if you look at the odds of one guy who made it to that seat, which is really a puppet seat, if we want to talk about how government works, right? You know what I'm saying? The CEO of a company is at the mercy of the board of directors and the investors, right? So that's just a position.
Well, just be thankful that it is right now, I would say.
Say it again?
Just be thankful that it is right now.
We can be thankful, but also be aware of what's not right. Because he's up there doesn't mean that kids still aren't being shorted in school. My nephew's a elementary school teacher, and it's a sin before God that these children are entering into the 5th grade and not being prepared. They're still reading on a 2nd grade level. Like, this is, the systematic stuff that is killing the community, because those kids aren't being raised up to be Obamas. You understand what I'm saying?
But if the system remains the same now, right? We're in the same system.
Yes, we are.
How are we going to get out of this?
We have to be accountable for what's going on in our communities. And I don't think it's going to come from, like, government. Government isn't going to help our stuff. I mean, the system is working as it is supposed to work. There are people benefiting from how it's working, and there's people who don't want to change. You can just look at how the healthcare system works and insurance and all that other type of shit. That shit works for the people who are at the top of it, right? And everybody else lives at the mercy of it. So if we're going to change, we have to do it from within. We're going to have to start voting on a local level, putting people in a position who are from communities and care about communities. There needs to be a better, I like what you're doing with the police. That whole dynamic needs to be remedied.
Okay, so how do we start here in New Orleans?
How do we start here in New Orleans?
Right now, today. So if we had to vote for the mayor, say, let's start with that.
Go out and vote.
Yeah, I mean,
who are we voting
for?
It's go out and vote generally, yes, but because it's not going to happen just because we put somebody in office now and everything's going to change by the time they get out of there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we found that out.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it depends on which issue we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
But if you get out and you vote, the idea is not just to go out and pull a level because someone told you, because you have an R at the end of your belief, or a D, or a number, or your whatever, someone in the community, your father, your dad, your teacher, your pastor, your bar owner, your boss. The whole idea is that when I say go out and vote, pick up a pamphlet, pick up something, read about it, find out who you like and what to do, and then go out and vote, and then experience either a victory or experience a loss. A lot of things can come from losing, because then you can say, okay, how can we do it better
the next time? And
then how do we hold the winner accountable? Because the winner should still represent all of us.
Yes.
So how do we make sure they get their message? Because anymore,
do you have an answer for this? It's a very appropriate conversation if you can figure out how to hold the winner accountable.
Well,
I think too, though, going back to what you're saying is, you can't, the mayor's the mayor and the city council, but you got to do it from within. Like, for one example, my kid goes to this awesome charter school in New Orleans. It's one of those great schools that popped up after Katrina.
What school is it?
She goes to Lycée Français.
Okay, I'm familiar with that.
Great school. So diverse, so eclectic, such a great school. And they got rid of a few programs they couldn't afford, some of the younger grades, and so the parents got together and they started their own school.
Right.
And that's so essential. Is like, if you don't like what's going on, do it yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. And so that's what I love in New Orleans too. There's this whole kind of organic post-Katrina thing of people saying, you know what, I don't like that. Let's, like the whole, like the catch basins, right? Everyone's so angry about the catch basins, but now what? Everyone's starting to clean their own catch basins, because you know what? No one else is going to do it for us.
That's a great point.
Yeah, maybe it's wrong,
you
but
can stand around and complain.
Right.
Or you get active.
What you could do
Jump
is,
up and do
if everybody went out, there's more people in our catch basin, but if everyone went out and cleaned their catch basin, and then you show up at, whether it's a night out against crime or debate, or you go see your council person, say, oh, by the way, 40 or 50 of us who pay taxes and work here, do stuff, we had to clean our own catch basins. So now we want to understand, what did you say it costs $4 or $5 million to clean catch basins, and you haven't been cleaning them, and we went out and spent a day doing it. It's just sort of like, that's kind of like holding people accountable. Like, you don't
And
say,
they
like,
still
we're going to
should be
sit here and
accountable.
wait until you clean them
Right.
and suffer. But you got and clean, so okay. And then when they go, oh, look, everything's good. Oh, yeah, well, we went out and cleaned them.
Yeah.
But we went out
Well, what
and
are we
made sure
exactly?
people got
What are
in
we
this.
paying our taxes for, though, if people aren't cleaning the catch basins or fixing? The
I mean, that's a
streets
good question, and we know how the politics in this city
It's
works.
a balancing
Right.
act, though. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to take it in your own hands and do it and improve life in your neighborhood. Like sometimes you just got to look at it from a neighborhood level. Like I can't fix this whole city, but I know my neighborhood. I know there's an old lady next door who's got nobody, so I'm going to go see what she needs when a hurricane's coming.
And my military friends call that the candlelight effect, right? When they go into a new territory and they pick certain spots that are spaced out. And it's just like if you put candles in a dark room. If I put one in that corner, that corner, that corner, and probably a few in the middle, the whole room is going to be illuminated. So if we're in the third wall doing a little something, in the fourth wall doing a little something, in the seventh wall doing a little something. If you look at it if you stand back and look at it, the city is looking a little better now. So if everybody, like my favorite rapper, Big Boy, if you want to reach the nation, start from your corner. If you want to change the world, start from your corner, right? And that's all you can do. Do everything within arm's reach. And if everybody's doing that, if we look up, the whole room would be clean. It's like teamwork in kindergarten. You pick up the pegs, you pick up the crayons, you pick up the paper. At the end of the day, the whole class is going to be clean.
All right, that's a good inspirational note to end on, I think, don't you think?
Yeah.
You think we can do something there?
Wanna
If each
see-
of us left
I just
here.
want to see you be involved in music and being related to Mahalia Jackson. You doing ballet, and you say that you have some of the events are active. I want to see like a hip hop ballet.
I would love that
I think-
to
I
bring
just
up
heard
big-
today. I was at the theater today.
I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Across
Well,
I've
let me
seen-
tell you,
I've seen
I was
it
at-
done. I've seen
I
it
was
done.
at the theater today because we're loading in for our show this weekend, and they told me that this fall hip hop Nutcracker's coming to the Sanger, and I was like, oh my god,
That stole my idea.
what is the hip hop Nutcracker? But I think
Already-
I want to
they've
see
done
it.
it
I mean, it's kind of like Hamilton. You heard about that play?
Yeah.
Right. That's all rap, right?
Right.
But it's like it has an
Right.
opera effect to
Yeah.
it. So I mean, there's a lot
It's
of
a
room for
musical.
fusion. There's a lot of room for fusion.
That's your next project.
I got like 3 to knock out, and I get to it.
Well, we're looking for those. Nesby Phipps, thank you so much for joining us.
It was
here
great
on
to see
Happy
you
Hour
again,
Another
man.
Time.
It's great to meet
It's
you
gone
all.
too quickly. Joe Bickledge, thanks for being here. We'll see you at the Cochon Delay Fest at Palmer Park this Saturday.
Please. This
Saturday.
October
Everybody come out,
the,
everybody.
what date is it exactly?
That's the 21st.
Yeah.
October 21st. We'll see you there on Saturday. And Master Schramm from the New Orleans Ballet Association, thank you so much for
My
being here
pleasure.
as well. That's Happy Hour for another week. Thank you so much for joining us. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producers are Alison Moon and April Stolf. Christian Unruh is our music director and Jean Valois is our music producer. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and our show is engineered today by Eric Murrell. Asher Griffith is the person who put this whole thing on Facebook Live, and our fact checker and social media connector is the fabulous Andrew Searock. Our theme music was written and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show, you can sit around a table for about an hour and drink alcohol. Drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. We can also check out many other hours of Happy Hour that we have up there, as well as some other shows we make around here. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, and Louisiana Eats with Poppy Chucker are just two of them. You can find other great shows and Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com, and on our Facebook page, those photos were taken by Alison Moon. If you're listening to this show on your podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment to rate and review us. That actually does help other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Freret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hours of production of INO Broadcasting. For itsneworleans.com, Andrew Duhon will be back here next week. You can find him in the meantime somewhere around the country. And check him out at andrewduhon.com. From everybody around the table here at Wayfair, back at our office at INO Broadcasting. And where else? That's about it. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week on Happy
Pretty good
Hour.
at this, Grant.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
And now, a thought from Geico Motorcycle.
It took 15 minutes to take a spirit animal quiz online
Please be the cheetah. Please be the cheetah.
and learn your animal isn't the cheetah, but the far less appealing blobfish.
Oh, come on.
To add insult to injury, you could have used those 15 blobfish minutes to switch your motorcycle insurance to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance.